Vince, I don't know. Is it Wednesday night? Is it Thursday night? What night is it? Because I'm a little
I'm
confused. You know.
I am too. I am too. I'm looking at wait a minute, is it Thursday night? Is it Wednesday night? I had to rush to get to the computer. I said, wait, is it Wednesday or is it Thursday?
Well, the thing is, you was all ready to do the show last night, and I was over in Daytona coming off some fireworks and fishing, grilling, and everything else. Didn't make it back until about 11:45, but I had a good fourth. How was your fourth?
Fourth was very nice. I really enjoyed it. Spent it a quiet fourth, but a good fourth. It was really good.
Okay, did you get a chance to see any fireworks at all?
A little bit. There was some around in the neighborhood, not too far from where I live, so I could kind of walk outside and see the skies light up, and it was nice. It kind of a great way to cap off the day.
You know, the funny thing is, there was in the news, and I know you guys know absolutely nothing about this up there in Tennessee. By the way, I'm Charles Morse with Vince Carter. This is Youth Central Sports, where we come to you every Wednesday, but it's actually Thursday. But we come to you every Wednesday at 11 p.m. at www.youthcentralsports.com, where we talk about any and everything when it comes to our youth and sports. And so we're happy to be with you here on this Thursday night. But Vince, I know you guys didn't hear about this, but I think it was over in the St. Pete area, and in Apopka, right? And it's the same company now. The same company, St. Pete and Apopka here in Apopka. They hired the city, the officials hired this company for the fireworks, right?
Right.
Over in St. Pete and also here in Apopka. There was no fireworks.
No fireworks.
None. Zero. I was just watching one of the officials from Apopka on the news, and he was sitting there talking to the guy. Do you have anything in the pipe at all that you can just send up something? Can you just shoot off something? You know, because you know all these people come to see the fireworks.
Come to see the fireworks,
right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing. So
what kind of explanation did they give for that?
So I don't think they'll be contracted next year to be setting up. I mean, here they're supposed to have a contract for like $125,000 to, you know, do this work and send out the fireworks and nothing. You know, I mean, that was I think it was like 2 years ago, and I don't forget. Maybe you remember this, maybe because this it was in the news where something happened where all the fireworks went off at one time. That was
and I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
All of it went off at one time. So that was whatever that was. Because I think now with the technology and everything, I think it's supposed to be digital and with the computers and all of those stuff. But I don't know what happened with this company that they botched it at two different places. You know, that's amazing. Especially that's a lot of money.
But for both places to have that mishap, that's unusual. That is or that's the biggest fraud. They pulled off the biggest fraud.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, I saw you watching the Summer League, right?
Yes, I've been watching since Monday. They had a summer league in Utah and in Sacramento, California.
Okay. Now, I had been watching some of the highlights on ESPN. Now, I saw your boy Trey Young, and that first day, I think he had 16 points, but I think he was 4 for 20. Has he been doing any better?
No, and tonight he was. I think tonight he scored a points, but I think he's hit 2 3-pointers out of and the game is not quite over yet, but he's like 2 for 12 and like that. He's having a hard get with that shot. I don't. He's doing a lot of dribble. It's interesting. They made a comparison between him and Grayson Allen, which kind of feud. I'm not a Grayson Allen fan, No, I'm not a Trae Young fan, but it kind of talks to a point that I believe in. They're talking about the difference in their games and how well Grayson seems to have a better grasp on what's going on than Trae. And that's because Grayson spent 4 years of basketball and Trae come out after 1 year. So his learning curve is a little bit sharper than Trae's. Jason needs to he has better understanding of what's going on the floor than does the other young man. And that's to my point too about the time that these kids spend coming out so early. Some of these kids are very bright. They got high. Jason Tatum, this boy Bagwell has played very well coming out early. But this young man, Trae Young, thus far for Atlanta, is struggling really bad. He just got through shooting free throws and he missed those. And he kind of looks like he's lost on the offensive side. Defensively, he's done okay. He and Grayson Allen got hung up into a situation there a few minutes ago because they had them guarding each other. Very competitive, but again, you could see the difference in maturity, the difference in skill level, which kind of talked to my point a little bit. But Utah, it's a close game. It's 13 seconds left. Utah is up 91 and sorry, at 87. One of the young men I had a chance to interact with, who played at North Carolina a couple of years ago, Tony Bradley from Bartow, is playing tonight. This is his second year. He spent his first year in the G League, and now he's playing in the summer league for the Jazz. He's on the team for the Jazz. That he might get his chance to get it. He has looked very well in these 3 games that I've seen. Figures looks good. Has his body. He's gotten a little bit chiseled, bigger. They still want to, still developing in him, but he may have a shot after all.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna want to get into some of the names I want to throw out at you, and just want to get some feedback from you. Whatever you want to say, I'm going to throw that at you. But first, I want to ask you: have you been following any of the World Cup? Are you still following any of the World Cup?
I got lost on the World Cup when the basketball got started. I got lost in the World Cup. I was so intrigued on the basketball, and because some of these kids I followed through college, and a couple of these kids I know, so it kind of a different feeling for me this year. So I'm really I've lost track of the World Cup.
Okay, all right. Now, last week when we were on, right when we were coming on, the College World Series was on, Arkansas and Oregon State, right?
Right.
And Arkansas was down to the last out. They were a catch away. Was it Oregon State or was it Arkansas? Was down to.
I think it was Arkansas because you mentioned we were on the air.
Right. And so they were a pop out away from winning the College World Series. A pop out away. Like the ball went up and the 3 players came and the ball was like right there. And it dropped like right in the middle of all 3 of them. And they turned around and they looked at each other. If they had caught that ball, they would have won.
They win it. They won it, yeah.
Right? So now what happens is the next play, the guy gets a hit, right? The guy comes in. The very next guy come up. He hit a two-run home run. Then they go on and play game 3 and lost. Didn't score at all.
Oh my! Didn't score at all. Wow. That's what, boy. I tell you what, that's sport, and that's the heartbreaking part about sport. 1 out away, you wrap this thing up in a neat little bow, and then you turn around and you lose it all.
Right, and that's the thing is, Vince, for people who don't know anything or never played sports, you will live to be 300 years old, and you will never get over that. You never will.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm still suffering from a game, a summer league ball game. It's been 8 years ago. I was coaching Boone High School. We defending champs, Winter Park High School, on the ropes. I was coaching the team. We had them down. We had our hand around the net. And I think I made a coaching error, but nevertheless, they came back and won. And that thing has haunted me. I still can't get rid of that. And then I get up here in Tennessee. I'm coaching JV. I got an undefeated season going. It comes down to a basket. We had 2 free throws. We could have tied or won the game, and we missed both free throws in our game. And so those two games kind of haunt me a little, especially that one in high school. That really bothered me because of I think it was really my decision because I made a bad substitution and it cost us. So I understand. I understand. I think it's over, and I've had some success since then. But I remember that those 2 games stick out to me.
Hey. Okay. Oh, by the way, we was talking about the movie Uncle Drew.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard a couple of people like it. I haven't seen it, but they say that it is funny. But so we will see.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I talked to a couple of people, did not like it, but I think the reason they don't is because they're not necessarily sports people. So what they don't appreciate is who that is, what they're doing. They're looking for it to be almost like slap comedy.
Right.
And if you understand it, it's funny. If you don't understand, not funny. So right. I kind of took that with a grain of salt when they were saying, well, I didn't like it. I was like, okay, I understand. But then I talked to some other people who were a little more sports and they thought it was funny. So I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna have to go check it out.
Okay. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to throw out some names. Okay. All right. And you just make the comment of whatever you want to say about the names I'm going to throw out. You know, we're really talking about free agency right now.
Yes.
So in the upcoming season, I'm just going to throw out some names. Dwight Howard.
Well, he just signed. He bought his contract out. He got traded to the Nets. He bought it out, and now he's going to Washington. He wanted to go to. Interestingly, he wanted to go play for the Warriors. And when he contacted the Warriors, the team made a decision that no, we don't, no. So he ended up going to Washington. I dare say, I think that's a risky take. He has not performed well. I'm surprised he got a contract.
And the thing is, now it's funny to say this, but it's true. But it's funny to say this, Vince. He's only going to make $5.4 million a year. He signed him 1 year, and it's only for $5.4 million.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad money considering he could have gotten more. You know, I mean, I'll take the 5.4 in a heartbeat. Think nothing of it, and they could have got me that for multiple years.
Yeah. I don't know much about whether or not much of a impact player that he would be, but Raymond Felton, he re-signed with the Thunder. He re-signed with the Thunder.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised about that, although it kind of makes sense because with Paul George staying and Russ Westbrook really being a 2, they need a good point guard. He pushes the ball up the floor well. He's not a bad defender. It could help them. The problem they're going to have is what they're going to do with Carmelo Anthony and building the rest of the team around George and Westbrook. He's a good point. He's steady. He's not going to make too many mistakes. He's got pretty good basketball IQ. I love the way he pushes the ball up the floor, and he defends reasonably well. So he could help Westbrook not have to do so much. Let him catch the ball and make his offense rather than have to run the offense, create everything. You can pass it to him and let him do his thing. So really, truly, not a bad pickup.
Okay, now I honestly don't know this person, but he signed a 5-year, $158 million contract. So he must be somebody. His name is Devin Booker with the Suns. You know anything about this guy?
Yeah, Devin has been the marquee player for the Suns, and they have predicted. It's been predicted by the basketball people that in the upcoming Vegas Summer League, which starts tomorrow, they anticipate that those guys' sons are going to be winning it all because they got a lot of talent coming in. And Booker has done very well. So franchise player, yeah, that's what they're saying. They're saying you're my guy, and we're going to build around you. Good move.
Do you know anything about from Denver to the 76ers, Wilson Chandler?
Not too. Yes, Wilson is Wilson Chandler, I think it is. Move. Kind of surprised they made that move, but he performed pretty well. If you notice, a lot of guys are only getting 1 year contract because 2019 going to be a huge free agency year. So what everybody's trying to do is save their money so they can go out there and bid for all these free agents that's going to be out there. So not a bad deal for 1 year. Not a bad 1 year.
Now, we was talking about Washington, but Howard going to Washington. It looks like Cleveland, Jeff Green had left Cleveland. Now he's signed a 1 year deal with Washington. I'm sorry,
Could
Jeff
help
Green.
Washington.
Jeff Green.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's interesting. I'm kind of interested to see what Cleveland's going to do because I also heard that Kevin Love has said that he's open to being traded as well. This could be good for Cleveland. A lot of people think because now they're going to gut the team, kind of put it the way they want it to put it together. If Tyronn Lue is still the coach, he gets to kind of coach his kind of team, if you will. Because the way it was before, it was LeBron's team. Let's be honest, in the type of ball that he played. I'm not sure that's what Lou wanted, but it's what worked best for the team. Now he's going to get a chance to put together, but they got a lot of rebuilding to do. They got some good pieces there, but if Love leaves, that was a big part of what they had. So with him possibly being gone, now Jeff is gone, and I think they're going to slowly pick that thing apart, whatever they got left, because Kyle Corbett is still around.
But Kevin, to me, they would be crazy to get rid of Kevin because he's their best consistent player. You know, he's at least what he can give you because he's probably their most consistent player. Long as he's on the court.
It's going to depend on where he is. If he's a free agent, they don't have to try to compete to keep him. And if it could be more than they could possibly, they might not be able to compete. Or sign and trade, or I'm not sure. I think he's a free agent. If he's a free agent, they got to really get out there and kind of bid for him. I didn't think he would want to leave, but now it appears as though he does. And one of the things that you're looking at the new Lakers, and I'm sure we'll get to that, but just they don't have any shooters around LeBron, so he could be a real possibility of going because that's what's going to really help him be. That's what's going to help that team. And with LeBron, you're going to do it so he can penetrate and kick and then knock shots. So he might be a candidate for there, but there are also other locations that could use him as well.
Okay, well, you let the cat out the bag, so let's just talk about LeBron. Let's talk about. Might as well throw LeBron. Going to the Lakers, leaving Cleveland. What you think about that?
Well, I've been saying that all along. I've been saying that since before the All-Star break that A, he would be leaving, and B, he would be going to California. And it appears as though he and Magic and the front office have sit down and really kind of come up with a game plan that everybody seems to be okay with. He had some say-so about Rondo. He had some say-so about Lance Stevenson. I think he even had some say-so about Miguel McGee coming. And if they don't get another big player right now, they're okay with that because they're looking to next year. And they're going to slow burn approach. They're going to build this team bit by a little bit to get to where they go. That's why LeBron got a 4-year contract. Also, they got a lot of assets they can get rid of too as well. There's a station that Ball's people put out that rumor about him being injured to not let him be available for trade. Don't know how true that is, but it does sound like his dad, if to be honest with you. I hate to indict the man, but it just sounds like something he would do. And they got Ingram, they got Kyle Kuzma, they got some talent. And I've been watching their summer league team. They got some guys coming up on that as well. They got some assets they could get rid of. What's going to be interesting is obviously LeBron being there is going to really do a lot for the possibility. It's going to be for the team to have some success, but they got to put some shooters around him. Right, don't have any.
Here's another name for you. Michael Carter Williams signed with the Rockets. How you think he gonna fit with them? Michael Carter Williams.
I think, well, they got Ariza, and he's similar to Ariza in a way, from an offensive standpoint. He's as good a defensive ball player as Ariza was, but he's definitely can do something on the offensive side. They've got to replace that, and they haven't signed Clint Capella yet, and that's who I thought possibly might be going to the Warriors. Who I thought would be a great candidate for the Warriors because I thought he fit their style. But I'm pretty sure they're going to do that. But they got to hurry up and luckily he's patient. He seems to be waiting around to see what they're going to do. So, but I'm a little bit, the Rockets got to be careful. They're trying to stay intact as much as they can, but add some more youth and some more defense to their team.
Right. Avery Bradley, he re-signed with the Clippers.
I think that's good for Doc.
Right.
I think that's good for Doc. I like Avery. Avery's a good defensive ball player. He plays hard. He's good on I like his offense, what he brings to the offensive side of the ball. I think that's a good place for him. I think that's a good move.
Boogie Cousins, DeMarcus, a.k.a. Boogie.
Interesting. I read earlier where Boogie, when he got injured, right after he got injured, they had offered Boogie a 2-year deal. He declined it, and I think partially some of the conversation was thinking that he would recover and be able to go for the max. But after that, and I know the Lakers were not interested because they didn't want to wait on his recovery. I read that I think earlier today that one of the reasons they didn't get in the bidding war is because they didn't. The time frame for his recovery, they didn't want to wait on. So he reached out to the Warriors, and the Warriors had a conversation and decided. And I understand that Draymond Green was one of the ones who led the idea of him coming back, of him joining them, and they talked about it and all agreed to bring him. But Boogie's going to really bring a lot to the table. He doesn't have to, and what I like about it, he doesn't have to get back. They don't need him until next year. They'll be fine up next year, but when they get around there, right after if he doesn't come back to after the All-Star break, it's gonna be trouble for everybody else going from there into the playoff because they're not gonna know how to really play them then with that. Now Boogie said he'll be ready by the start of the season, but I don't think the Warriors are gonna let him do that. They're gonna drag that out, make sure he's 100% healthy, let him have a good year. Then next year he'll be able to get those big dollars, and I hope. He could possibly get those big dollars from the Warriors as well. It's going to be tough though because they got a couple of their other players. I think Klay Thompson comes up for a big deal, and right the year after that is Draymond Green. So they got a lot of money to throw around, but hey, the kind of success they're getting back, I pay it.
The funny thing is, I'm really surprised that the Lakers didn't want to sign Cousins.
Didn't want to wait.
But
they didn't want to wait.
But they're not going to be that good this coming year anyway, Vince. They're not going to be that good this coming year. I mean, they're not going to win any. I mean, they're not going to make the Western Conference Finals.
But what everybody's concerned with is putting much money for him and not knowing whether or not he can play. And I think that is a risk factor. And I think that's what works out from the Warriors standpoint is that they don't need an immediate contribution from him. The Lakers do. They need immediate or boom. For him to be able to get on the floor and do it, and I just don't, even I was surprised that New Orleans didn't even come with a 1-year deal to keep him down there with Anthony. Now they let Rondo go, so I don't know what the Pelicans are gonna have because you're breaking up. You got to put something around. I think put something around that young man, Anthony, and he just bought a home out in California. 90 minutes from the Staples Center. Now I'm not trying to start no problems, but that's I don't know. I don't know what that means. Maybe he just like having a house out there in California, but could be signs of the future.
Paul George.
Surprised. I'm very surprised he stayed, but I think one those situations in Oklahoma was that Paul George got there and it felt good to him. They showed him a lot of love, and I think they've convinced him. I think Billy Donovan and the senior management showed him enough love and convinced him that we'll put something around you and you can, because he's going to be there for a while. Now he can always come out of that contract, but he's got a long-term contract. That was because I just knew he was going to the Lakers too, but he maybe he likes it better playing with Russ than playing with LeBron, but I think it's more economic than anything else and long term.
Right. Yeah. Just be interesting to see how, again, the three of them, because I don't think your boy Carmelo has that much left in the tank. He was saying that he had to get accustomed to playing with Westbrook, and that they didn't come to him the way the play design or whatever that was he stated. But I don't know. I don't know if he still has that much left in the tank. Him willing to.
I'm not sure he's going to be there. I'm not sure
Really?
he's going to be there. I think he's going to end up getting traded.
Yeah, but who would want that contract, Vince? I mean, he had
All they got to do is trade and cut him. You know, just to get rid of him. There'll be some compensation in there to ease that burden. Just to get, they'll do it to get rid of him.
Wow.
You know, and they'll get him out. But he may stay if he can prove his productivity. He may stay. There is some conversation that he could be traded. I think in certain teams he would be okay. He's going to have to come to understand he will not be the first or second option. He'll be the third option, maybe the fourth option, what team he goes to. And if he can live with then he might be all right. His ego is so big, I don't know if he can handle it. Because you listen, you hear what he's saying right there about playing with Westbrook. So I don't know. But the early comments about the fact that he might get traded. Or they may buy him out and send him home.
Wow. It must be nice just to be able to be sent home.
it would. I would have no problem if they want to send me home. I mean, go ahead and call me in and give me my check and say, going home. I'm out that day.
Wow. Is it Seth Curry signed with the Portland Trailblazers? He signed a 2-year
young
deal.
man got injured. He was with Dallas last year, and he got late in the season. He got hurt.
Right.
He was playing really reasonably well. I spoke with Daryl Armstrong, who's assistant coach over there, and they were liking him a lot. Toward the end of the season, I think it was mid-April, early April, somewhere around there, or could have been late. He got injured, and as a matter of fact, the injury took place in Memphis. As a matter of fact, in fact, I was at the game when it happened, and they weren't sure, but it's good to see because the young man can play. He's not Seth Curry. I mean, he's not his brother, but he does well. He shoots the ball. He's a good shooter, good size kid. Plays pretty well. So I was kind of surprised that they let him go, but I'm good to see he got another contract.
Your boy Randall, who I guess did the Lakers, did they cut him or trade him? They let him go, right?
Well,
he's now with New Orleans.
Pending. Yeah, he was pending. He was pending, and we went head on and took that opportunity to get picked up and go to New Orleans. Now that could help Anthony picking him up, and they got a couple of other kids they picked up as well. I like the way the young man played, but you got to look at all that stuff they're bringing in over there, and he might have decided I don't want to stick around. I don't know the insides of that. I'm just kind of speaking for what I think he may have thought about, but he got a decent deal going to a team where he has a better opportunity of getting on the floor and doing what he does.
Rondo to the Lakers.
I'm really surprised about Rondo leaving New Orleans going to the Lakers. That surprised me a little bit because they had a good run last year. That speaks very highly of Rondo's IQ. He's a great floor general. He doesn't shoot the ball well, but he knows what's going on that floor. He runs the offense, gets the ball in the right places, plays good defense. I love what he does. I was surprised he left. I was kind of surprised because they, New Orleans did really well late in the season, not to have Boogie, and look how far they got without him. So I was thinking, boy, they were going to really come back this year and be a monster. Now they may still be a monster, just going to be with different players. That's one of the things that's going to be interesting about this coming year, and the change of East-West. LeBron leaving the East, going to the West, and what's the East going to look like? Who's going to be your dominant team? Right now, they're talking a lot about Boston as being your dominant player on that side. Toronto being, and all of that. So it's going to be interesting. It almost got parity on some teams. I wouldn't say it's equal all the way, but you got a lot of parity out there. You still got a lot of guys that hadn't signed. I mean, Isaiah Thomas, Marcus Smart, Tony Parker, Yogi Ferrell.
Well, the thing is, I got that list too, so I was gonna get to that list as well. But yeah, I mean, I was okay. So since you called out those names, let's talk about Isaiah Thomas, Tony Parker, and there was one other.
There's a Marcus Smart from up at Boston.
Right. Yeah. Marcus Smart. You got Marcus Smart and you got Tony Parker. Yeah.
Ty Lawson. You got Jameer Nelson. Jameer been around forever. I'm surprised, and he could possibly end up, because he's got good basketball IQ. And one of the things that I see a lot of times these guys are doing, they get some of these veteran players for their experience to help in the locker room. So I could see a Tony Parker going to somebody's team as long as he doesn't mind being a backup role when he's back in San Antonio as well. I was excited there for a minute. I saw Isaiah, it's Isaiah Briscoe that the Magic signed. I thought they had signed Isaiah Thomas. I was going to say that would have been interesting, but it was Isaiah Briscoe that they signed. Those are the point guards that are out there. You got shooting guards. You got Zach LaVine, Dwayne Wade. Now Rodney Hood is supposed to be going back to Cleveland, and I'm sorry, back to Cleveland. Jamal Crawford. There's some conversation with the Warriors going out into the Warriors. Wayne.
Oh, really?
Wayne. I haven't heard anything. Ellington and the other guard on there is Vince Carter. Heard anything about him yet? So, but I know that there was some conversation about Jamal Crawford going, and a lot of these guys. What's going to happen? Because then you got your small forwards. You got Kyle Anderson, Nick Young, Corey Brewer. A lot of times these guys get picked up or even get in conversation to solve all these other issues. These major trades are made, and then these guys will be what I call fill-in, then you pick up these little one-year contract, fill in. So, and then you got your power forward. You got Jabari Parker. Memphis was interested in him. Dirk Nowitzki. He'll get another year in Dallas. Trevor Booker, Michael Beasley, and Kyle O'Quinn. I don't know. It's hard to say. Then you got that, and then you got centers. You got Clint Capella. Come on now. Right. Houston's got to sign him. You got Brook Lopez. I haven't heard anything about him and why.
But actually, Vince, your boy Crawford, I think would be a good fit in the sense of taking Trevor Reeser's place, who left Houston. Because
he could. I'd love to see him go to the Warriors, because I think a lot to the Warriors.
No, not the Warriors, to the to Houston.
Oh, I'm saying I like him going to the Warriors, not Houston. I don't care about what Houston needs. I like to see him go to the Warriors, but he could fit either, because I think he's a defensive ball player. He's a veteran. He's got good IQ. He still got something in the tank. He can score offensively. So he either one of those. And if Clint Capella stays and you put the two of them, I think you got some. Channing Frye, he's still out there. Alex Lent is still out there. So you got a lot of Greg Monroe, Brook Lopez. Haven't heard anything about. I don't even know where he is. I wasn't sure he was still in the league anymore, but he's still there. So, and you look at the Warriors, they re-signed Looney. They kept Looney, but they let McGee go, and then thus comes Boogie Cousins. So they do some real smart
Yeah, I mean, and
Moves.
David West too, because he's a free agent.
Yes. Yeah. Sitting out there. So there's a lot of talent that's sitting out there that's waiting to be tapped. That I think once they finish Leonard, they don't know what's going to happen to that. You still got some of these players. Some of these players are fighting for position. Some of these, probably not these free agents for sure, but these rookies coming in, they're going to get a two-way contract. I'm specifically interested in Joe Barry, who wasn't drafted. I did sign on with the Lakers. Now, I've seen them play for the last few days, and he hasn't played yet. So I don't know what. And they got a lot of guards out there, but they may be saving them for Vegas. So when they start playing tomorrow, I'll be watching to see if he gets any time, because I haven't seen him get any time at all. And he just won 2 national championships coming out of Carolina.
Okay. Well, we're gonna finish that up in a minute. You ready for your 3-minute sprint?
I'm ready, boy. I've been practicing all day for my sprint. I'm ready.
Okay. All right. We good. Question. What was your favorite fireworks growing up? One. When you were a kid, when you had your fireworks, what was your favorite fireworks?
The sparkles.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was the biggest thing you ever blew up as a kid playing with fireworks?
It was a basket, and we had put that basket over it and hit that thing. That thing just blew. It was funny at the time, because they had paper and stuff in it. It just went everywhere, and we thought that was fantastic.
I know.
Now
I think
kind of stupid.
I think we all did that one. Okay. How old were you when you got your first BB gun?
Oh gosh, probably 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I wasn't big on guns. My dad liked it, but my mom didn't. So you know how that goes.
Okay. About how many albums you have stashed away?
Now, probably almost none. Now, everything was everything to see. So I'd say probably about 100.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Growing up, who was your favorite baseball player?
Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson. Okay, good. Did you ever watch Pele playing soccer growing up?
Yes, I did. Fascinated, almost, and to do what Pele did, and found out very quickly.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Since Danny White, because like the new school Dallas Cowboys wouldn't know nothing about this. Since Danny White, do you ever think we'll ever see quarterback/punter ever again?
No, I do not. I do not think that'll ever happen again.
Yeah, okay. Either or, Bandstand or Ed Sullivan's show?
Bandstand.
Oh, really? You really wouldn't like it? It's going to be a really big show.
Yeah. I mean, I like once he said that on TV. That's all I need to hear. He interesting show, but Bandstand was more my style. I liked Ed for some of the guests he had, the way he did, because I was a Jack Benny fan as well. But when it come right down to music, Bandstand was the one.
Oh, okay. Did you ever learn to play chess or checkers?
Checkers. I can play a little bit of chess, but I'm a checkers guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I was a big checker guy too, and you know what?
That was fast.
I know, right? Yep. That was fast. I never learned to play chess, but when I was in 6th grade, I was a really, really good checker player. I mean, I used to play against some of the adults when I was in 6th and 7th grade, and I learned to play checkers, man. And I'm not as good as I was back then. I mean, if I played now, I know I'm not as good. But back when I was in like sixth or seventh grade, man, I was a really, really good checker player.
Yeah, I was a checker player as well, and I got interested in. I did Chinese checkers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I did that, and I really could learn chess. I just wasn't patient enough, and
Right.
I've tried it again since I've been an adult, and I like it. It's just that I haven't been around enough people to know it well enough to help me learn the game, and I don't play it. I started. I got kind of got interested, and I still am interested in it.
All right. Before we get back to the free agency, who has surprised you in the summer league? I mean, who you been watching
Oh man,
that's been awing you a little bit?
whew. It's so many. I mean, there's a young man, Jack, and I can't. His name is I can't remember his name. Jackson Jr. Playing with
Yeah, 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 yeah.
out of
The son of
Grizzlies.
the Jackson that played for
Yeah,
San Antonio.
right.
Right. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. The young man, he's a big guy. He's big guy, big inside guy. The two teams that I watched the most right now has been San Antonio. No, I'm sorry, Sacramento and Memphis. And I like the talent that they have on both of them. The young guy Carter from West Virginia, defender, runs the offense really well. Some of those big guys have come along, have looked really well, and so I'm really excited about what's going to happen in Vegas because all the teams will be participating. Here in Sacramento and in Utah, you only had like 4 teams each. But when you get out there, everybody's going to be playing. So we're going to see even more talent. But I've been very impressed with a lot of the big men. A lot of good footwork around the basket. A young kid from Michigan, that young man is going to be playing for the Lakers. He's going to make the squad. I don't know how much time he's going to get, but he's going to make the squad. That boy tough. Shoots really well, big body, get around the basket. So those guys have been very impressive. There's several guys right now, I can't remember all their names, but I've been impressed with what I've seen. Because some of those summer league teams, they look, because right after these kids got drafted, they went right to training camp, a mini training camp. And so they picked up the basics of what they want to do, and now they put them right on the floor. And some of them, you can tell they're out of sorts. They're still kind of learning the game. Others, man, they're picking this thing. Bagley, I know he's a dookie, and you know how I feel about dookies, but that young man there can play. Yeah. They got this other kid from that was at Sacramento too. It's Jones, I think it is. He was hurt. He come back. And these are 2 big bodies, big long bodies that can really play. So there's some talent out there. It's going to be interesting to see how many of them make the team, how many go to 2-way contracts, and it's going to hurt because some of them not going to make it. They're just going to be they're going to be bounced around to different teams, and they may end up having to go overseas. But it's a lot of talent out there. But the one thing about it, Charles, that I'm concerned about, it's a lot of young talent, with a lot of one and dones, and I'm not a big fan of that. I really think it hurts to play, and it makes a difference where they come from too. Conference they played in, what school they come from, because I gotta say, those kids do. They come, and I gotta give. I'm not a Krzyzewski fan, but I gotta give them credit. They come prepared. They come prepared to play. I mean, and this is good talent. Carolina's got some kids that came out I thought were very talented. Haven't seen them break that, but they got it on team. Justin Jackson, second year with the Kings, looked very good. His first night out was bad, but he had a point. After that, he's been on fire ever since. So it's out there. There's some talent out there.
I don't know if we had a chance to talk about Jameson for Tampa. He had been in the news. He had been in the news. And I don't know, because now you have some people saying that, which they're not going to do. Well, they need to part ways with him, blah, 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 blah. And he's been kind of consistent as being this spoiled kid, having a time of growing up, realizing, that he's a quarterback in the NFL. He got a microscope on him. You know, whatever it is, you got a drinking problem, whatever those problems are. But you know what's funny to me, and I'm going to try to word this in the right way, and I hope that I can. And I can't think of his name, but there's a big guy that's for ESPN.
Yeah,
And
Woody.
he,
I know you're talking about. I can't call
right,
his
and
name.
he's been on Jameson like white on rice. They
Yes,
should,
he
you
has.
know, I mean, he's been on it, man. And well, he should. But, and I
Yeah.
hope that I can say this right. I think that we're all part of this society where we make these guys rock stars, and we build them up. It's up to him and wherever he came from, his parenting, whoever mentored him, for him to grow up, and for whatever that means. The other side of that too is, and I'm trying to say this, we all kind of play a part in how we treat these guys like rock stars and idolize them to their egos and help them, what's the word? Not help them, handicap them. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say? Idolize them to make them think that there's something that they're not, bigger than life and all this other stuff, because we all play a part in that. Now, to the degree in which you just become stupid, that's another thing.
Right.
But this brother also, I don't think he can relate, and I could be wrong, where a lot of people coming up to you and they throwing themselves at you. They throw themselves at you, and where your ego is such that now that's your lifestyle. And I'm trying to say, I don't think he comes from that lifestyle, is what I'm trying to say, growing up. Not making an excuse for him and all this madness and stupid stuff that he's doing, but I don't know how would you handle him if you were Tampa Bay, is what I'm asking now.
Well, you know, he's not the only player. I mean, Wilt Chamberlain talked about that groupie session as part of what Magic Johnson talked about it. I was around West Chandler when he was coming along, and he had hit that point where it was just all over the place. What it comes down to is how you perceive it, how grounded you are, and how grounded your inner circle around you that helps you. But a lot of it comes on you. Now, if I'm there, if I'm Tampa Bay, I got to sit with him now. Now, Jameson, we've had problem after, very serious things. You're my quarterback. You're my leader. You're both on the court. I mean, on the field, off the field, in the community. But I got to sit down and talk with him. We got to come to some kind of understanding, and then we've got to set some kind of parameter going to go forward. Either this is going to be the one that ends it, or we're going to have any other incident and we're going to have to part ways. How can I help you? Here's the problem that you're having. Here's how can I help? And give him opportunity to correct it. And then if he can't get it corrected, or he fails to get it corrected, I go a different way. Because they cannot continue to let that happen. And that's what society is saying now. You hold me to a higher standard, and you let these guys get away with murder for the things that they're doing. I don't believe in throwing them under the bus, but I do think we got to read a little bit. And I would go to him and say, because we've got to fix this. So rather than I'm not going to say you got to fix it. I'm going to say we got to fix it. And I'm offering my help to you to help you fix this. But now after I do that and you do it again, then I'm going to say, okay, obviously you don't want to make this change. I'm sorry. I really was hoping, stay together, but we can't. Then I'm going to wish you well, because you're going to have to leave.
Well,
because it becomes embarrassing after.
Yeah, and the thing is, I can't relate to the alcohol problem. I'm trying to figure out, like, where did that come from? Like what's going on in? I mean, you the star quarterback. It's like, what's up with the alcohol? I don't.
Well, certainly, I would tell you without a shadow of a doubt that some of these incidents, they are stemming from something else. There's something else that's driving him. We're just simply seeing the symptoms of whatever. This is his way of coping with whatever is troubling him, and he's acting out to protect and or try to cope with something else that's going on with him. And you would think he wouldn't have any issues. He's money. He's a star quarterback. He's playing well. All the things above. But there's something else troubling him. I believe that not. Obviously, he's not going to make it public right now, but he's dealing with it well. And what you're seeing is him acting out. These are symptoms of those other issues. You know, just like you would say, someone would say, well, you got a drinking problem. The question I would ask is, why do you? Not the fact that it's obvious you drink. What I want to know is, why do you drink? What is it that you think drinking is going to help make better? Why are you using it as a coping mechanism? What is it? What kind of stress are you under? And I think that's probably some of the issues that he might be facing. That obviously he's not talking about it, or maybe it's not public anyway. But his actions are saying, it's like it's a cry for help. I'm out of control. Can you help me? And he just keeps doing things that to me and to us don't make a lot of sense. But to him, it may be a way for him to release that tension or to cope with whatever's just troubling him.
Yeah.
That's typical of addiction behavior.
Yeah. Which, and I wasn't going to ask you this, but knowing your background and the people that you work with, when you talk about alcohol and drug abuse, for you yourself and how you have worked with people, you would recognize that, something that a lot of people wouldn't,
Yeah. A conversation or just being for a little while, and maybe if I could get him to relax and just be himself, and then I think I could probably pick up on something and as to what's either troubling him, what are you doing, and then maybe get him to talk about it a little bit. Because I've been around enough for that. As you say, I've been around enough for that, where if I can see him in his natural environment, I might pick it up.
Right. Yeah. Is it Ederman who plays for the Patriots? Is that how you pronounce his name? Who has the 4-game suspension upheld for the Patriots?
Yes. Yeah.
He had appealed it, but the 4 games, he got his 4 games. So I know they're not happy.
No, it's so hard for me to, and again, this is what society does, and you speak about it all the time. It's how we put these, we hurt them, we help them, we hinder them, and then we hold them accountable. The leagues have really tried to help these young men understand that you're in the public's eye. Everything that you do, good, bad, and indifferent, will be reported on, especially in today's society with all this high-tech stuff we got. Where we used to be able to hide, you can't hide now. Everybody got a cell phone. I saw an accident the other day, and I'm where a small fender bender. It must have been 30 cameras. Phone taking pictures. So these guys got to understand, man, that you have a responsibility not only to yourself but to your team. You got a 4-game suspension, and you're on the starting whatever. That's the spot that we don't have, especially at that professional level. That is very important. So they don't seem to be responsible. They seem like I can just get away with it. It's okay if I do it. And as much as the league try to talk to these guys and try to put them in with people who can try to share with them, they don't seem to get it. That you can't. They let you get away with more than I think they should. But after a while, just like Jameson, after a while, I got to do something about it.
Right.
It's not about what the public's saying. It's about what it's doing to us. And we can't allow that to happen. So I'm shocked sometimes by these guys get busted for substance abuse, for drugs that are banned. Come on, man. You know that thing is banned. Why are you taking that? You're just going to circumvent the system. And then when you get caught, you want to start crying. Well, it's too late now. It's too late, and you're not supposed to do certain things, and you do it anyway. And then as soon as you get caught, I want to appeal it. How are you going to appeal it? It was already a rule that you don't do it. I struggle with that part. I understand the dynamics that they're in. That sometimes they're made to feel like they're above the law, and that the law, it doesn't apply to them. I can do anything I want, and nobody can do anything they want. They get away with a lot, but eventually it catches up with you.
Aaron Jones, Packers, suspended 2 games, substance abuse violation. So
makes no sense. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
You know you're gonna ban you. I mean, you know they're gonna suspend you. So why that chance? You're making millions of dollars.
Offensive lineman Jamin Brown suspended 2 games. 49ers linebacker Reuben Foster 2 games.
Yeah, see, that's a bad example of discipline. It's the young athlete is coming along. It's going to be hard. I got to discipline them for the young athlete that's coming, because after a while they all think, well, it doesn't matter to get away with it. No, we got to stop. I was glad that the NFL cracked down on the violence for their players, because those guys were getting away with some very violent situations and nothing was happening. A lot of people got angry and said, well, it's not their business. Yes, it is, because it's in their contracts. It's in the team policy. You know, if you do it, nobody knows about it. I mean, you're still wrong, but, you know, that's you know, I don't know. But once you get out, I got to do something. And they cracked down on that. And they suspended some guys for long periods of time, which I think is justifiable. Because in society, you would do the same thing. In normal life, if I were to beat up on my spouse, they're going to put me, and they know about it, somebody going to want to put me in jail. Then I'm a starting quarterback, linebacker, baseball player, basketball player, it don't matter. You know, and that's the way it should be.
What you think of Terrell Owens giving his Hall of Fame speech at his old, what is that, University of Chattanooga? Wherever he went to school, that's where he decided that he wanted to give his Hall of Fame speech?
I'll be honest, Charles. I don't understand T.O., man. T.O. kind of got me a little bit confused.
No, actually, you know what, Vince? That right there, I think is kind of a neat idea, though.
Yeah, well, okay. I'm open to suggestions when it comes to T.O., because I don't understand.
Now, when he said that he wasn't going, okay, remember we were saying, okay, so he has the right not to go, right?
He has a right not to go. I mean, that's
right. But now, when he said, you know what, I'm going to go to my old school, and said that's where I'm going to give my introduction speech, I think that's kind of cool.
Okay, all right, I'll put you on that one. I don't understand. I'm going to say, okay, T.O. Good idea. That's all.
Well, I mean, he's ticked off because he well, you know, well, it's T.O. anyway. You don't try to figure T.O. out.
Exactly.
From the first place.
That's
okay,
my point.
Now, he didn't go in on the first ballot. He ticked off about that. And, well, you know, he should have. You know, he should have. But with that being said, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. But if he wants to go there, I think that's kind of cool. You know, especially it being the school that it is. If it was like Notre Dame or USC or someplace like, nah, I wouldn't. But where he's going, yeah.
Well, if the intent is to motivate,
right,
and to say that, you know, dreams come true, and
right. Well, I'm hoping. I'm hoping that's what it is.
Well, that's what I'm hoping it is. I hope we don't go there to have a gripe session. You know, because that you know, that you take to the NFL.
Right.
You know, if you want, and I don't think enough people in the public care that you didn't go in on the first round as much as they care the fact that you went in. So that's a personal thing, and if that's a personal thing, then you have to deal with it personally. I just think there's too much drama around it. Again, it's his decision, and I support the fact that he has the right to make that decision. Again, I'm thinking it could have been dealt with different, maybe not, but you know, there it is. I hope it works well. I hope it's what we think it is. If it is, then I got that.
Wow. Well, You know what? If he goes to his old school and he talks to them about that himself, where he came from to what he achieved, and now that he's in the NFL Hall of Fame, and help them to believe in themselves and to be something that's motivational to a lot of those kids, or whomever can get something out of his speech, then that would be a good thing, because that's really what it's all about. And for those who are upset with him that he won't be there at the Hall of Fame, they will get over it. He will go into the Hall of Fame. He's there forever, and we'll be over that, and we'll be on to something else soon. And then he'll still be
I agree.
T.O.
I just think it's and I don't want to affect his opportunity to express himself. He has a right to do it the way he wants to do it. He earned that opportunity. He can do with it as he wished. It's just that it's so hard to come by. So many players would love to be in his position, and I want to be understanding of what he's trying to do. And I'm going to go with you on the fact that if he's going to take it back to his school, he's going to tell them how important that was coming through there and all that. I think that would, I agree with you, that would be one heck of a opportunity. Now, if he's going to go there and have a gripe session, then I think that's in bad taste.
Yeah. Want to ask you, did you see that sister that climbed the Statue of Liberty? Did you see that sister today?
Yeah, no, but I read, I haven't seen.
No, but Vince, they're trying to figure out, like, how did she do it?
Well, I'm wondering the same thing. How'd she get up there? That's what I want. Is how did she do that?
Because they were like, well, there's not that much to grab a hold of, and she was sitting there like this right here.
Yeah, I saw
her. Y'all come
sitting on the base, I think. Yeah, I was kind of curious. I haven't seen much on it, and I was thinking maybe later, somewhere down there, I might be able to find something on that. Kind of curious about it. I saw a quick article earlier this afternoon. I did not get a chance to read. It was kind of talking about that. And I was trying to understand, why did she do it?
No. She did it out of protest of Trump. It was a Trump protest. With the kids and what they're doing. So yeah, I mean,
I thought it had something to do with that. I thought it might have had something to do with that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But she was, she went to the microphone afterwards. I think after somebody, paid for a bail. So, and plus she was with some other people that were like, and they were like, well, we wasn't expecting her to do that, but we're proud of her.
Yeah, well,
and we still don't know how she climbed up there.
The government might want to hire her to be a part of their covert team. She can climb the Statue of Liberty. Where y'all can send her in?
Oh yeah.
Put on payroll.
It's like, wow. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, if you get a chance, once you follow that story, because I will.
Yeah, I want to read that tonight.
I told you that a few weeks ago that I had a surprise for you. I haven't been able to still work that out, but I'm working on another one. So I might be. I'm working on this other surprise. But by the way, we're actually running out of time. But I want to find out, when are you going to be able to come back to Florida? Because just to let people know. Oh, and you didn't give us an update on your knee. So how your knee doing? Because we usually start off the show with the update.
Yeah, I'm doing really well. Exercising. Still working on range of motion. Looking really good. Go back to the doctor later on this month. Hopefully to be cleared. 18th this month, I go back to him, and we're going to sit down and have a real serious conversation, because he's going to have to let me go this time. But otherwise, doing well, doing really, really well. I'm very, and last time he was actually pleased as well. But again, we're looking for a little bit more emotion. I'm very close to being, I'm hit this month on the 27th, will be 5 months. 5 months from surgery, and the 16th of this month will be 5 months from the actual injury. So he said 6 months I should be back to. I would have been back to quote unquote normal. So I'm a little bit ahead of schedule. I was behind at one time. Now I think I'm a little bit ahead, but I'm right on schedule, so to speak. So because I am very functional, and I'm so excited about that I can, I can get up and down stairs, I can drive, I don't have I think when I visited you last, I had my cane. I no longer have my cane. I'm getting up and down stairs without and I'm able to move around and drive. So I'm really excited right now. I can't run. I was in a situation the other day, and I said, well, if I got to run, then I'm just going to stay here till they get here, because there's no need in me, because I can't run. So I just sit here. They have to come get me. But I can. So I'm good. I'm doing really good there. What was your other question?
Now, did he ever recommend any pool exercises, or being in the pool or swimming, anything like that?
No, they did not, because the strength, that basically builds strength in the leg. And I have strength, I just don't have range of motion. That area where that surgery, what they explained it to me, is that you either get one or the other. You range of motion first, and then you don't have strength, or vice versa. I happen to get strength first, but that want to improve on range of motion. And that is I'm at 90 degrees, 90 degrees. They want 100 or 110. Now, you walk normally at 90, 95 degrees is a normal walk. You run at about 110, 115, 125, depending upon, your style of run. So he really is trying to push me to get back to where I was at that time. And I understand that, because what has happened now, the knee has healed in a certain position. And that's just, it just does that. So now I got to work it out of that position. It's found its normal. That's why they were telling me early on to try to be as normal in my activities as possible, so that my body would understand what's required of it. And that's what has happened with my knee, because I was in bed for a long time. So my knee thought this is what we do. It was interesting the way they explained it. Say your knee will react to what you're doing. Well, you're laying down all day. And so it thinks, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. So the more active I am, I find the more range I get out of it. So, but I'm getting there. I'm planning on hitting his mark. I don't know if I'm gonna hit 125, but if I hit 100, I'm gonna tell him, listen, Doc, I think we've done good. Because he asked me, he said, "Are you satisfied?" I said, "Shoot, chair. Are you serious?" Yes, I'm satisfied. I'm excited, but if we can do more, we're gonna do it.
Okay. All right. Well, I was going to ask you before we leave, the possibility of you coming back to Florida would be when?
Oh, yeah, that's in the air. I was supposed to be coming back on the 20th of this month, but that has not been confirmed yet. I've got some activity. I'm starting some workouts next week, because we're in a dead period for basketball. Can't do anything with the kids. Can't really even talk to them until next week. And I've got some personal workouts I'm going to be doing start next week with about 4 kids, so maybe 6 kids. So I don't know yet, but as soon as I know for sure, I will let you know, because I'm kind of looking forward to that. I got to come see my friend, Mr. Raccoon.
Well, with that being said, I want you to keep the eye on the Summer League so you can keep us up to date and tell me who's rising, who's shining, and who should have stayed in college.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 of them I think should have stayed. I already see that, but I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. We're gonna consider these first 2 opportunities, Sacramento and Utah, is warm-up games, and then when they get to Vegas tomorrow, it's for real. That's gonna be a big show tomorrow.
Right, yeah. Okay, well, you got any plans coming up for the weekend?
No, pretty much. My brother's in town, so we're gonna be hanging out a little bit this weekend. I just got invited to Labor Day weekend. Tennessee State and Bethune-Cookman are gonna be playing up here. I don't know if Ken's gonna make it or not. I'll be looking for him. I got invited to attend that event. And then there's a marketing seminar that very next day. That Sunday. It's an open. Well, what it is, they're going to have barbecue and some acts out there. They're going to have a game on Saturday. So I've been invited to that weekend. So I'm really about that. Give me a chance to kind of make some connections in this area and see some football. Hopefully, I can see Ken when Cookman comes, if he's going to come up and join them. I'm pretty sure they're coming because that's going to be a big event.
Okay.
And then
Well,
they had to be.
funny because I talked to him yesterday about when the season starts, and he said he's going to be busy right at the I guess right towards the end of August. So I asked him
Yeah,
about
because
that
this is
date.
Labor Day
See,
weekend.
yeah,
September 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. I think that Saturday is the 2nd, and that's when they play up here. And I missed it the last couple of years, or I missed the Tennessee and whoever they played. When they told me the other day they were playing, I was like, oh, come on, know about those guys. And they're gonna bring the band, so Ken should be here. A chance to check him out.
Okay. All right. I'll ask him tomorrow, and I'll have an answer for you. Okay. Well, we're gonna look forward to you.
I'm looking for him.
We'll be looking forward to you coming to town.
Yes, sir.
And our friend Randy the raccoon, I'm going to let him know that you're coming back.
I'm sure he'll be excited to see me.
And enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, you
And
do
it's
the
always
same.
good. Happy to know you had a happy, safe 4th as well.
I'm glad. Thank you, and glad you did too. And to all, hey, glad you had a safe. Hope you had a safe 4th.
Yeah. All right. Well, Charles Morse with Coach Vince Carter. You know, we come your way every Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Well, we come your way every Wednesday right here at www.youthcentralsports.com. Also, you can join us on Monday for the Journey 2020, where we come to you at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's thejourney2020.com. You can check us out every Monday starting at 7 p.m. And coming up this coming Monday on the show, we will be talking to the ladies from AKA, talking about what they're doing in the community, how they're raising a lot of money. And they just recently gave out over close to $24,000 in scholarships. I was right there. I videotaped it. I was a witness. So we're going to talk about the debutante and all the wonderful things that they're doing for the beautiful ladies that's going out to college starting up this coming fall. So look forward to the Journey 2020 this coming Monday at 7 p.m. at www.thejourney2020.com. And of course, right here, every Wednesday at 11 p.m., the man, the true, the first, the one, the only Coach Carter. The true famous, the one, the original. Is it the original? Is that how you two go back and forth, the original?
That's how we go. I was here first. He may be more famous, but I'm the.
Yeah, he's talking about the Coach Carter that everyone knows for the movie. Coach Carter flew in Coach Carter as a speaker for him at the Midnight Basketball Annual Hall of Fame dinner, and he was a great speaker. He's a really nice guy too. Yeah. He is indeed. So, and by the way, when the last time you talked to him?
I got a text from him about 6 weeks ago. We hit each other once. I haven't talked to much. I kind of get a little text from him here. We kind of stay in contact. I actually asked him in about 3 months. But I got to get a text from him. He hit me up and said, "I'm in Florida." Yeah, but I'm in Tennessee. Well, next time I come check you out. I said, "Well, okay, I look forward to that." So I'm hoping that connect.
All right, Vince. Well, thank you so much. Like I said, enjoy the rest of your week. I look forward to seeing you when you come to town. I also look forward to stay up on the Summer League. I got a lot of questions for you for next week, so you make sure you write down your notes.
I got you. I got you.
All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week.